UFC China's happening this weekend with the main event of Song Yadong versus Deiveson Figueiredo, and the UFC said, fuck it. If you look Chinese, you're going to go on this card because they got a couple other Asian fighters on this card. It's named UFC Macau on ESPN. I don't know why it's not UFC China. Like with the rest of the cards, they'll do UFC New Zealand, UFC England, UFC Poland, or they haven't gone there in a while, but UFC Serbia, which is about to go to. I don't know if this is some type of UFC propaganda to not give China their flowers, but I know Macau is a region in China, but you know, we usually say UFC China. I know Donald Trump is behind UFC a lot, so I don't know if they didn't want to name UFC China, but whatever. They said, yeah, UFC said, fuck it. If you look Chinese, you're going to be on this card because they got Ray Surya. They also have Kaya Sakura. They have Luma Lukboom, which they're not Chinese, but they're Asian. But they got a bunch of Asian fighters, or they got a bunch of Chinese fighters on this card. So we're going to go through the main event because the rest of the card is kind of shit. I believe this card's going to happen around like 7 p.m. like normal time. I know China's on a different time zone, but I'm pretty sure this is going to stay the same. I don't think it's going to be in the morning. Or let me check that. I lied. Literally, the main card starts at 7 a.m. But whatever, man. I don't think we're going to wake up for this. This is the type of fucking UFC fight card that, we watch back. Not when we watch live. But I'm going to give you my predictions on this main event of Song Yadong versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Now, as we all know, Deiveson Figueiredo, he was once a GOAT in the flyweight. He was on his way to become a GOAT. And then, ended up losing to Brandon Moreno a bunch of times and then moved up to bantamweight. And now he is unk age. Oh, shit, my camera. He is unk age now. He's about like 38 years old, and he's not getting any younger, man. And he's also not getting any better. So I think that's giving away my prediction. I'm predicting Song Yadong by unanimous decision, not by a finish, because Song Yadong, as we've seen, he's kind of a decision merchant. If you're not Uriah Faber or some schmuck, he's not going to finish you. He took Ricky Simon to a decision in the main event, and also took Chris Gutierrez to a decision in the main event, which in my opinion, you should slam out those guys if you're a really good prospect. Because this whole thing about Song Yadong is this guy's only 22 years old, only 26. This guy's like 28 now. And he might be even older, because I remember he started his career when he was like 16, I believe, in China, and then they had to like adjust his record based off because of him fighting at 16 years old couldn't be called professional. So this guy's been in the game for a very long time, and all I can say is Song Yadong kind of looks the same in every single fight. Not really much improved after that big win. What was it? Since that doctor stoppage in the Corey Sandhagen fight. And let me make a correction. I just seen that he actually TKO'd Ricky Simon in the 5th round. Whatever. 5 rounds it took you to TKO Ricky Simon, who's not even that good. What, he's like unranked now? Well, whatever. That's not swaying my prediction in the other way. I'm picking Song Yadong by unanimous decision. So as we've seen from Song Yadong's fights, he's pretty good at wrestling, at anti-grappling. But that one thing, Peter Yan was able to take him down when this motherfucker pulled his balls out of place. He had like some groin injury, and he was able to lay on Song Yadong in the 3rd round, I believe. But Deiveson Figueiredo just doesn't have the drive to win fights anymore. That Montel Jackson fight was a decision. He barely won that fight, and if you're gonna go back to the title, you gotta win that fight in good fashion by a submission or something. He did take down Montel Jackson a bunch of times, but that's Montel Jackson. As we see now that he's kind of a bum. He used to be a good prospect. I used to think he was nice. I was thinking he's going to slime out Deiveson Figueiredo, and that was going to be his nice win. But he ends up getting unked out by Deiveson Figueiredo through a decision and gets beaten by him. Deiveson Figueiredo outclasses him and just does the tricky stuff to get a win against him. But as you can see, that's really the only thing you can do. But yeah, like I was saying, not much improved. We always talk about how young Song Yadong is, but really after like 25 years old, this motherfucker really plateaued. Probably because of the amount of damage he took at such a young age. I don't know, man. This guy, I don't know where he trains. I'm pretty sure he trains with Uriah Faber, where they train American Top Team, I believe. Trains with Uriah Faber, and yet he still looks almost the same in every fight. And that Sean O'Malley fight, everyone was saying it could have been to Song Yadong's way just because, he was pressuring, but he really wasn't doing anything against a rangy striker. And with someone who's his own size as Deiveson Figueiredo, who's smaller than Song Yadong and older, I believe he's just going to beat him by unanimous decision. Maybe just being tappy on the feet for 5 rounds, or probably take him down, because Deiveson Figueiredo, we've seen many times he got taken down by Peter Yan. Who else? Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. It was really that Corey Sandhagen performance where we've seen that he doesn't have that dog in him anymore, as he was just really accepting bottom position and then eventually got TKO'd due to that injury that happened when they were scrambling. And also in that Umar Nurmagomedov fight, I do have to say, He did give a little bit of fight in that second round, but you know, after the third round when he got taken down, on the round that really mattered to win that decision, it was over, and he didn't put his foot down and try to win that fight and just pressure him, because in the second round we seen that as Deiveson Figueiredo was pressuring Umar Nurmagomedov, he was winning that fight, and then in the third round he just stopped it completely and then decided to lose and was comfortable losing a decision. And once you get to this, let me say something, once you get to this age to where you're old and even fighting in the UFC, you can get a bunch of money. You don't really have that incentive anymore to win that fight. And once this guy was he was probably like top three flyweights of all time. He's already achieved that shit, you know. Song Yadong, you know, he's getting up there in age now after us calling him young all these years, but he hasn't really accomplished anything in his UFC career, for real. Really just a top 5 ranked fighter. I don't even think he's not even a top 3 ranked fighter ever in his career. So he has extra motivation. I don't think he's ever going to become a champ, but he has extra motivation rather than Deiveson Figueiredo, who's at the end of his career, already achieved many shit and is already getting paid probably a good amount. He's probably going to get paid around like 200 or 3, I'd say 200,000 for just to show up in this fight, and you know, just maybe a little tiny bonus if he wins. He's at, you know, I don't know if they just give him the show bonus now. I bet he's making around 200,000. I mean, not after taxes, but around that amount. But that's my prediction, guys. I'm predicting Song Yadong by unanimous decision this weekend, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna watch this shit live. That's why it's good. We got Paramount Plus now, right, guys? You know, shame on you guys if you're still legally streaming, man. It's what, like $7 a month, bro. Come on. If you're broke, you know, get your money up. Not really trying to bug on you guys. I'm sorry. Well, whatever. The dawn is spoken.